Hawks fans, it has been an awesome summer to say the least, but I don't know why it has ended in such a sour taste. The kids are back in school, and for some reason, Trae Young has not signed his extension with the Atlanta Hawks, and we thought that it was going to end up being something simple. It's just a simple matter of, hey, we just need to get it done. But now it has turned into I don't know what it's turned into, but it's not good. I don't like it. And right now, we do not need this going into the season. I mean, with all of the good stuff that has happened for the Atlanta Hawks so far, this is definitely too much. And just putting it plainly, this situation has took a shocking turn for the worst. And myself and Chris Tipmore, we are going to be here to dissect and dive into it all. What's happening, Chris? How are you doing, sir?
Hey man, every day's a great day. I can't complain at all, about my personal life, but we definitely going to get on here and talk about the Atlanta
We
Hawks.
gonna
And
complain about the Hawks, huh?
yeah, I mean, we got some things to talk about. So we can get into it.
Yes. Now, of course, we always go through it. I want to make sure that we always point to the fact that throughout the season, or the off season, if you will, the Atlanta Hawks have made some substantial moves, bringing in Kristaps Porzingis from the Boston Celtics, bringing in Nickeil Alexander-Walker in from the, I guess, what are they, Western Conference? They're not champions, but, they've gone to the Western Conference twice in the last 2
Yeah.
years, the Timberwolves. We also have Luke Kennard from the Clippers. Now, of course, Luke Kennard, we understand you guys are talking, he's not going to, we get it. He's coming in just to shoot. But the Atlanta Hawks have made some,
Shoot it.
yeah, he's a shooter.
We need it.
Yeah, but the Atlanta Hawks, they've made some substantial moves during this offseason. And the one piece that the Atlanta Hawks, in my opinion, feel as though they need to make happen is the contract situation with Trae Young. You know what I'm saying? The contract situation with Trae Young is very important. Real quick, thank you everybody for joining up with us, watching our content. Myself, Chris Tipmore, we do appreciate you guys. The 63% of you guys that are subscribed, we really appreciate it. Continue to hit the like, share, and subscribe button, man. Definitely myself and Chris Tipmore, we're going to be here, along with the folks at Digest Media, to deliver to you guys all the, good media stuff. You dig what I'm saying? All of what's going on. Football, this, is coming up. But, of course, basketball is what we're talking about. But, Chris, how has this situation got out of hand?
Well, I mean, we made moves of cuts like that. I feel like, Trae Young has the best team he's had since 2021. And I believe we've been chasing those ghosts of the Eastern Conference Finals since then, trying to get back. Of course, we know what happened in 2022. Then next thing you know, we go get DeJounte Murray. That didn't work out. So we flip him for Dyson Daniels, some couple draft picks, etc. So now we're going into a different direction. And it's just funny how Trae was in trade rumors before all these moves, and now he's still in trade rumors because of the money situation, of the contract situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's a very realistic thing of two possibilities. Well, not possibilities, but two facts. The facts is that there still is the second apron, luxury tax. You're trying to have a deep roster. One thing that can hinder that is, giving Trae Young a max number. But especially when you're trying to extend guys like Dyson Daniels, who's coming up, you got to look forward to Risacher when he comes up. So it's got to be a strategic move. But I believe we do have guys in the front office that can manipulate that cap space and figure it out. I just want to know what's going to be the number, what's going to be the extension, because Trae Young to me has earned his money. He's going into his eighth season, I believe now.
Seventh or eighth season, yeah, for sure.
And that's what I'm saying. And since he's been an Atlanta Hawk, without Trae Young, respectfully, saying, we're not even a relevant team.
Yeah.
And my thing is a lot of fans don't believe that Trae Young deserves his money. And that's wild to me, just because I'm like, is it the number? Is people the 229? They just feel like that's just a crazy number, but it has nothing to do with Trae. It has to do with everything with the
it does,
and all that stuff. So I mean, the market is the market. I feel like you have to pay the man his money. At the end of the day, you've already given him one contract. I understand. He's fully and solely invested. I know you've talked about different things that he's done. I've talked about different things that he's done. You see the leadership role that he's taken on.
Mm-hmm.
He could be one place instead of being one place with having fun. He's in Vegas with the team.
For
He's
sure.
invested in the team. So
For
I just
sure,
feel
we have
like
a picture there. He was with the Atlanta Hawks
right.
summer league team, and he has. You're right. When you go to, let's say for instance, and we can break this down because that's really the reason why myself and Chris Tipmore we have come to you guys to break down this situation in general because we were looking. Well, we spoke yesterday just to give you guys an inside track because me and Chris we talk off air from time to time, and so we spoke off air and we were seeing how it's about 7 days ago I had brought up Brian Whithurst speaking about the Atlanta Hawks not paying Trae Young the 4-year $229 million that De'Aaron Fox got, but we know that right. I know you yeah, Chris said wow, and I agree. De'Aaron Fox got, $229 million. He got the max deal from another team. Whereas Trae Young has remained loyal, has stayed down with the Atlanta Hawks, and even doubled down this past summer. You dig what I'm saying? In this offseason, convincing the Atlanta Hawks front office to get Nickeil Alexander-Walker, convincing the Hawks to bring in Kristaps Porzingis and get all of the pieces that are needed for the Atlanta Hawks to be successful this upcoming season. And so we can go back to, like you said, the summer league where he is double. He could have been in, where was it? Overseas with Jordan, the Jordan brand.
Yeah, they had a Jordan. Yeah, Jordan Brand had a big event to where like Luca and everyone who is with the Jordan Brand was there.
And Trae Young just signed a
Trey
contract with Jordan
declined.
Brand, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but Trey he declined. He decided to be with the team, and bro, we got to see exactly what happens with that because again, he didn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? But he's showing that. But that is honestly the quintessential whole facts about being a leader. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? It's going to be times to where you're going to have to make those sacrifices, and he is doing such.
Yes, he is.
But also, you know what I'm saying, as far as like with the whole Supermax contract and everything, like I believe like he's eligible for the Supermax, but if he doesn't make an all NBA team this upcoming season, then the Supermax contract, you know what I'm saying, is designated, it's for a rookie max extension.
For sure.
But if the performance isn't there, then I don't believe that he'll be eligible for that Supermax. But regardless, I just feel like, okay, the 4 years, 229, I look at it like this after seeing what De'Aaron Fox has gotten, and I know it's some people that feel like De'Aaron Fox is better than Trae Young. I don't agree. I feel like he's good as heck.
Yeah,
But as
he's a
far
good
as
player. Yeah.
overall, there are things that both players can do that the other can't. And then of course we already know height, so you can't do anything about that. But you look at what De'Aaron Fox got, and you look at the fact that Trey hasn't been paid, then you put the icing on top about what he said about Michael Parsons and saying about this is why you pay the guy early.
That's why you pay him early. Yeah, that whole situation. Okay. All right. I'm gonna stop you there because I know we're getting to some weeds right now. Because again, yes, you're right. All of these things, I feel as though Trae Young is definitely justified in how he feels. He feels disrespected. He feels as though it should have come by now. The offer should have come by now, and that's why I wanted to bring up the Brian Whithurst that I had spoke about 7 days ago, because he said there is a deal to be done, and he vehemently said back then or at that time that there's no bad blood between the two. The organization and Trae Young have worked, I ain't gonna say tirelessly, but they've worked together to bring in these people and to help the Atlanta Hawks get to a certain point. So for Trae and fast forward to what you were talking about, how Trae Young feels disrespected, feels slighted, that he hasn't gotten his deal yet, how other
Mark
deals.
Spears,
Yeah. Say it again. I'm sorry.
not even, yeah, Mark Spears said
Mark
that, said
Spears.
been offered a deal, and Mark Spears is a predominant figure in the NBA sports world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's just like it's not just some joker just saying this, you got to kind of take it with a grain of salt. And, and my thing is also, I try to, give some grace. I know in sports it's kind of hard to give grace,
Yes, for
so
sure.
unless you just step back. But I also want to give some grace and say that, hey, a deal can still be made. This is not time to crash out.
Yeah.
Do want to bring concern because I didn't want to get here and be in the media and everything. And to your credit, like Brian Windhurst was saying, he feels like the Hawks aren't going to pay. Mark Spears is saying Trae has nothing to prove, which I agree with Mark. He doesn't have anything to prove. Look at the numbers. The numbers itself say in a league to where it's not many true point guards, we still have at least one true point guard, and we're talking about Trae Young. My thing is, if Trae Young averages more than what he did last season, the number is going to go up, and the number is going to go up regardless now anyway if you don't get something done, because again, you got other guys who are getting paid money. And now you have, like, again, De'Aaron Fox. I believe the De'Aaron Fox deal actually hurts the Atlanta Hawks because it's the same thing that that he was expecting to get. But honestly, still being with this team, still going forward, it's like that price tag has to go up a little bit.
It does. I agree. Depending on because if it were anyone other, or let's say if De'Aaron Fox didn't get what he got, if he didn't get the max, it would have been bad for Trae because the Hawks would be justified in saying, hey, we're not giving you, he not even getting that. So you're definitely not. But now that De'Aaron Fox did get the $229 million, the Trae Young can go back to the Hawks and look at them and say, all right, you see what I'm saying? Like, I should get something more than what you guys are offering.
Right.
But
And we're talking about somebody who has better numbers than De'Aaron Fox, too.
Yes, he does. And he's only been, again, the loyalty aspect. I think that is something that should be played into account in this day and age and in this new post the decision, LeBron, post decision, NBA world, because now you have a situation where the loyalty aspect should definitely play a part.
And also, let's just be honest. I as crazy it may sound, like, I know it's in the Western Conference, so give De'Aaron some grace. But he played in the Western Conference, but he also played for the Kings for so long. So another team is going nowhere.
Yeah.
So Trae has more postseason success and everything. It's just we got to see what's going forward as far as this contract situation. Because again, where I am, I want at the end of the day, it's all about the logo. And I do want guys to work this out. But what I don't want, if we're not going to keep Trae Young, set the man free. Let's not drag this out. And what I'm saying, get all the way to the end of the player option and end up and he walks anyway. I don't why do all that? If you're not going to keep the guy, if you have any doubts about keeping Trae Young,
or reservations, any doubts or reservations,
I feel like it's time to set that man free and set ourselves free too. Then, like, let's not even drag this out. Then,
for sure.
That's just where I'm at. It's just like, for me, I'm a cut and dry person. Like, if I want somebody, what I'm saying, on my team, and I want to pay that person, so from a business standpoint, I understand the aprons and everything like that, but you got to work that out. And for those who are saying Trae Young does not deserve his money after a body of work,
yes,
and I know he's had some injuries here and there, but overall, a body of durability more so than a lot of other players.
Take last season, for example.
Right.
Take last
so I'm
season,
saying he came back, and so I know he missed like a game or two, but he still played majority of the season. Most of his career, he's played all or majority of the season.
Yes, he has.
And if he doesn't deserve the money for that, then tell me why guys like Jalen Johnson deserves the money. Tell me why guys like Zaccharie Risacher deserves the money. Guys that we are still waiting on to see. Guys that we still have a proving ground.
Right.
Still have a proving ground. So, it's hard, man. It's like I see the potential, but I also know what I saw. And what I saw is some Trae Young being a staple and being the biggest star here in Atlanta since Dominique Wilkins.
Now, I have a question. And I'm sorry if I cut you off. I didn't mean
to. Do your thing. No, I was done.
But I have a question. When Trae Young put this out, and this was a few months ago, or about a month or so ago, there were speculations of people saying this is Trae Young being petty, but almost he's laughing at the offer that the Hawks gave. Now, people vehemently said no, they hadn't given him an offer, but it was cryptic, in my opinion. This was cryptic. I talked about this,
Right.
the meme and stuff like that. He was laughing, the whole the documentary the Last Dance documentary, and Jordan was laughing and whatnot. And I still believe that an offer was extended at this particular point in time. I believe an offer was extended. Trae Young laughed it off like, no, this is not happening. And I believe that we did. I don't think we saw it back at that point in time. But I feel as though there was an offer that was extended. Trae Young did not like the offer, and here we are now.
Right.
Do you believe? And also too with the Michael Parsons, I think another deal had been offered, or maybe not, with the whole Michael Parsons. Because you had brought up the Michael Parsons post.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? He said,
Right. Yeah. He was basically telling Michael Parsons to go out and get what he deserves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is why you pay the guy early, because the number only goes up from here.
Right.
Even though that was cryptic and he wasn't talking directly to the Hawks, but I definitely believe that was an indirect, and that's why I had to post it. I wanted, some fans to see it, and I figured then it would end up being a talking point. And then like a day or so later, here comes Mark Spears saying that there has not been a contract extended to him. Now, I'm now with the meme, so that's something totally different. Maybe that's true, maybe it's not. But at the end of the day, right now, present day, what hasn't been debunked is the fact that, about the whole thing about what Mark Spears is saying. Trae could have easily came out and said, no, hold on, Mark. That's not true. I have been, extended a qualifying offer. It's just we have to go back to the drawing.
Yeah.
Or whatever, so now he doesn't have to say that, but we've seen Trae say something for less.
Yeah, he didn't add any context to what Marcus Spears was saying.
Yeah, it's just so you think about it, it's like, okay, we gotta wait and see, man. We gotta kind of wait and play this thing out. But now this is something that's gonna be, it's like a dark cloud hovering over the Atlanta Hawks' head, going into a very important season to where we're trying to make it to the actual postseason again.
It's a lot of expectations for this Hawks team.
Right. But my thing is, if the expectations are exceeded, the number goes up.
Yes, it does.
But not just for Trae. Don't forget about Dyson Daniels. If Dyson Daniels comes back and have a better season offensively, let's hypothetically say he wins Most Improved again.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got to try to figure out how you're going to either pay Trae Young, let Trae Young go, pay Dyson Daniels, or let him go. It's just like it's many different.
It almost it's the Celtic effect, and I talked about this earlier. How you get a situation where there's a lot of hype surrounding your team, almost as if the championship window is now. Because after this season, especially like you said, if the expectations are exceeded, you dig what I'm saying? Everybody's number goes up.
Right.
Everybody's numbers goes up, and I don't think the Atlanta Hawks will be able to sustain that long term, given the apron era that we're in right now. So this could be
our track record as far as like giving out contracts.
This could be something that we might have to pay attention to late in later years, later months. People, all right, we'll ask the folks online. Let us know in the comments. Tell us how you feel about this situation, because it's starting to get ugly, and I feel as though Chris Tipmore and myself, we see the storm far before it's coming. You dig what I'm saying? Like before it touches ground, we see it coming. Chris, before we go, do you see there being a positive end to this situation? Is there a positive end to this situation?
Well, I'm 10 toes down on the Hawks doing right by Trae Young, I believe, regardless. And when I say right by Trae Young,
okay,
I'm saying they either pay him or they set him free, but they got to still do him a solid. Don't try to send him just anywhere.
But I assume they take care of themselves as well.
Right. They got to take care of themselves on the back.
Yeah.
Too. But, what I'm saying, honestly, I want the whole relationship with Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks to continue. Guys who want to be here, I want to start setting a standard about keeping guys here who want to be here.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like we got a bad track record of doing that in Atlanta sports, just football, baseball, basketball.
Yeah, we do.
Where era.
Yeah, we do.
Guys,
Yeah, we do.
bad track record, and we got to stop being like that.
I agree. Listen, y'all see the concern in my man's face here. Okay, he's pointing out like it is very important that we maintain and sustain Trae Young here in the Atlanta area.
I don't hit. They say history repeats itself. I don't want Dominique all over.
But the organization has done is we got. That's the thing, and this puts us in a hard situation. I know we were supposed to end it, but it puts you and I in a very tough predicament because on one end, you see all the stuff. It's almost like being in a relationship. You see the person doing all the right stuff, but almost is it too little, too late? And in my opinion, that's on both ends. Mm-hmm. On the organization, you have a history of not taking care of the people that you need to, or bringing in the right kind of people for the person you need. But now all of a sudden this offseason, they've done so. And then on the other end, you got Trae Young. He hadn't said nothing. He hadn't done anything ill will or anything like that. But now you have a situation where he's doing all the right things, saying all the right stuff. Is it too little, too late for either one?
Hey, man, that's something for the new front office to work out with Trae.
Okay.
And you got to think about it, too. And this is the last thing I got before we get up out of here.
Okay.
You and me, we can say that we like Onsi Saleh, right?
Yes, we do.
Onsi Saleh didn't draft Trae.
No, he did not.
So.
That's a mic drop. That's a mic drop right there. As a matter of
fact. My man said I got to drop the mic.
That's Chris Tipmore. My name is Walter Pollard. Listen, we're having a good time, but I'm glad that we're able to laugh through this pain because it's serious. I'm not gonna say that it's dire, but it needs to get taken care of long before it gets worse.
Absolutely. And again, you want to handle everything. I think every business and every executive wants to handle things in a timely manner.
For sure.
It's just all about both sides coming to an agreement. I don't believe that the Hawks are going to try to lowball Trae, but I do believe that the Hawks want to sign Trae and also Dyson Daniels. So that's just something to keep in mind. If they can fit that in, they will. But there are some fans that think that if they do move on from Trae, then they have Dyson Daniels, whose position is a natural point guard.
I've talked about how Zaccharie Risacher, a lot of the moves weren't necessarily made for Trae, but made for Zaccharie Risacher. Because of Zaccharie Risacher his progression on the second half of the season, the Atlanta Hawks said, all right, let's go ahead and get some of these extra pieces. So only time will tell, Chris. Only time will tell, bro.
We'll see, man.
That's Chris. Say it again.
I said, just get ready. Keep your Hawks hat on.
Yeah. Well, mine's in the back, you see. That's Chris Tipmore. My name is Walter Pollard. This is Atlanta Hawks Digest. I do hope that you guys enjoyed the conversation. Please continue the conversation in the chat. We would love to hear from you guys. Chris and I would definitely be trying to keep up to date, talking with you guys as well. So please, 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 please definitely hit us up in the chat. We'll see you guys later. Peace.
Peace. Love you guys.